sometimes I just feel like these creators don't think about me before posting content. I swear, almost every time I post a video, an hour later, something will come out that I could have put in that video. That's amazing. And then I have to nerf my own video to come on here and make another video for you because I'm hashtag committed to it. I have to pull over my car and stop drinking my matcha with a straw in a cup. I don't know how many of you that triggers. To make a video to talk about something going on that I could have talked about earlier. Anyway, if you're not abreast to the situation, about an hour and a half ago, I released a video. 30 minutes later, I find out Paige Spiranac goes on Instagram and makes the video that I'm about to show you, and I got to talk about it. So now I'm back on here and we're doing this whole thing again. So welcome back to the channel. Hit that, I haven't said this in a while, hit that subscribe button. Go ahead and do it. I feel like I'm grinding. Not to beat a dead horse, I'm a new dad. I've said that 40 times. I shouldn't be making 3 videos a day. I should be sleeping, but I'm not doing that. I'm making videos and drinking matcha at 5 p.m. to make you guys content. Anyways, so I'm just gonna go ahead and play the clip that Paige posted. It was on her Instagram, it was across 3 different stories. I'll put a blip of, like, she put a screenshot of a DM, and then she made these videos. So I'm gonna let those videos play, and then I'm gonna talk about them. So here they are.
First off, thank you so much for all of the very kind messages. It truly means a lot to me. I don't normally do this, but this hate for some reason has just been really hitting home for me. I've struggled socially my entire life. I struggle in big groups of people, making friends, keeping friends, relating to other people, reading social cues, saying the right thing at the right time. It's just been really hard for me my entire life. And I know that might sound weird considering like what I do, but I'm just not like effortlessly liked like a Robbie Berger or like a Chaz. Like, it's just hard for me in big groups of people. So at the Internet Invitational, I was really excited because I felt like I could like fit in the industry and like be there for my team and show up. And I was making spreadsheets and I was doing all of this stuff and I was really excited about it. And even when I was there, I was excited about it because I felt like I was really like there for my team. And so it's just been really hard to like see this reaction to being so unliked and hated. I know there's more important things in life than wanting to be liked, but I do want to be liked and I want to fit in. And I've tried for a lot of my life to find places where I can fit in. And when I was at the Internet Invitational, I felt really good. I felt like I showed up for my team and I was doing my job and I was competitive and it was nice to feel that way. And then now to watch it back and like these deep insecurities of like childhood whatever is coming all back, and it's like confirmation that no, you're actually not liked, you're annoying and no one likes you and you suck and you're terrible and all of these things. And it's just hard because you feel good in that one moment, you feel like maybe you're gonna be liked, you're gonna fit in, and then it's like, just kidding. Everyone hates you. But anyways, episode 3 is out. There are so many great storylines and people, and I feel like there's so many people who are having breakout moments, which is really, really cool to see. So, go check it out. Okay, so I figured I'd just let those videos play instead of doing like this pause reactions and stuff, just because, you know, it's relatively short, so you guys got to hear it all and see it all. So, a couple things. Number one, it's a human being, and it's a human being that, although I don't know, I've met her once, I think, at the Good Desert Open, the first one. But no relationship, no whatever, met her once, totally fine when I met her. That's a human being, and like no matter what, like I'm always gonna lean into empathy. Like I'm almost like too much of a softie to do this job. Like I know I could get way more clicks and like have a way bigger channel if I was like a real asshole, and if I just like really like pushed my finger into sore spots on people and like created drama. Like I know I talk about drama, but I don't intentionally create it ever, and like I try not to. And you know, I don't want to be that one doing that. And I think it comes from the fact that I do think I'm a pretty empathetic person for things that I can clearly tell are like sore spots for people and something that's bothering people. So I think from that video, it's very evident that Paige struggles with the negative comments. She said that, not just these negative comments, but negative comments in general, a struggle with wanting to be liked and, you know, validated and whatever. And, you know, you feel for it. So like, first off, I feel bad for Paige. I hope, Paige, if you're seeing this, like,
Nobody hates you. Like, that's not real. Well, I shouldn't say nobody hates you. That's actually not true. Let me just take that back. Somebody definitely hates you. There's tons of people that hate me. There's tons of people that hate Robbie Burger. There's tons of people that hate Chaz. If you're on the internet at all, there's going to be people that hate you. But the reason why I say nobody hates you is because nobody that's like saying they hate you, even though they're messaging you crazy stuff like go die or such a blah, 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 whatever. Like, if you sat down at dinner with that person, now barring that, most of those people are probably actually crazy people that like, they're just nuts. They're just nuts people, like clinically insane, maybe very depressed. But a lot of them are like normal people that maybe just like don't have the best lives, but are actually like at their core good people. And if you sat down with them and like had a dinner with them, they'd be like, oh, you're actually like a great person or whatever. Like, that's not usually even what they think. But anyway, my point is if you're on the internet, you're gonna have haters. But Paige, nobody, like, people who meet you, like, you don't come off. I've met you once. I know lots of people who have met you. I've never heard somebody say a bad thing about you, like, as far as just like a first impression meeting or whatever. Like, you've been nice. Like, you're very famous. You're a person that like probably has to deal with a lot, and like maybe people are intimidated by, and like maybe haven't always had the best interactions, so maybe people are weird when they meet you sometimes. But like, from creator standpoint, I've heard nothing but positive. So rest on that. And like, I always try to tell this to creators, especially new creators. You guys know I work with new creators. I help creators build channels. Like, I always tell them that, like, if you are confident that you could sit down at dinner with just about anyone and leave that conversation, that room, and that person be like, yeah, that's a good person. Like, that's a good person. If your friends, if your family would like genuinely say that you're a good person, you just don't have to worry about what random people say online. They don't know you. Like, they don't have the full story. They don't have the full picture. They don't know you. So rest on the fact that, like, if you're a good person or not, and if you deserve to be hated or not. And like, I just don't think that's Paige. Like, I don't think she's a bad person. I think she's a good person. I think, the problem for her is that, like, she's chosen a vertical in the content space that definitely sets her up to get a lot of hate. Like, it's just, and from both sides, from men, from women, there's a lot of things you can say about people who have chosen the genre of content, I guess you could say, that Paige has done. And I've worked with people who have gone down that path in some way or another, and it's tough. Like, you're fighting an uphill battle for sure, and you're always going to have people with these first impressions because of that. I'm a product of the internet. Like, I'm everything of the internet. Like, I intentionally piss people off in my videos because I know that, like, it's almost like, well, rage bait, there's a word for it now, but like, my actual viewers, they know when I'm doing it, and when it's like joking, like when I mispronounce Grant's name or when I do stuff like that. Like, I do it because it gets a rise out of people, it gets people commenting, it gets engagement, it's good for the internet. So like, if you're making certain types of content because it's going to generate engagement, you also have to know that, like, with that, there's going to be positive and negative, and like, it is kind of just like par for the course. And so anyways, all that to say is, like, I think Paige is a great person. I don't think she deserves to feel this way, but you're also making a choice to, like, put yourself out there. Even if she wasn't making the same type of content that she is, like, anyone making content on the internet is going to receive hate at some point. It's just how it is. And I know you're saying, like, Robbie Burger is so liked, and Robbie Burger has so many haters. Robbie Burger, man, like, I bet you could tell you, but I can only imagine the amount of people that message him every day and are like, you absolutely suck. If I got to play golf every day and do it for a living, I would never shoot 100 like you do, or whatever. That might be a ricochet shot to Bob. I don't know if he actually shoots 100. I don't think he does. I think he's like trying to break 80, but you get my point. Like, there's tons of people that probably hate Bob. There's definitely, Wesley's a great example. I love Wesley. I think he's one of the greatest human beings ever. My goodness, there's a lot of people that definitely hate Wesley. Like, there's a lot of people that hate me on the internet. Like, and I do hate for all of them because, again, it's internet hate. Internet hate's not real hate. Okay, so I feel for Paige. I really do. And I think, again, if I could tell her anything, it'd be like, try to ignore that. I can kind of see where maybe some of it's coming from. The flip side to this too, and I said this about the Luke thing, is like, although Paige has a much broader audience than the YouTube golfer, she is still probably being exposed to this brand new audience of Barstool, and the Barstool audience can be savage. And like, a lot of people getting exposed to her for the first time are probably like having questions and whatever, and are making assumptions and assertions, and that's probably leading to a lot of hate. I do think there was a moment today, I said in my last video, where personally, I thought she came off as, it was like a little abrasive in the way she was like trying to like tell her teammates how to pick. She was almost like, it felt like talking over people, but like she did address it in her video that she's like, I have trouble with social cues, like whatever. Like to me, she kind of described like maybe slight on the spectrum. Like I'm not saying she is or isn't, but like she described it as like having trouble reading social cues and facial expressions and knowing like to read the room, essentially. It's basically some level of autism. So like, that could be something too that caused that. So like now hearing that, I'm like, oh, okay, well, maybe that's what that was. But like, even that might have been enough to trigger some people to go message her like negative things. So it's a bit of the new audience, a bit of what's happened on camera. The reaction from Paige is interesting. Like, again, you would kind of think that she's been in this world long enough that like, you would, and making the content she makes and continuing to do it, that she would have been kind of numb to this by now. But like at the same time, it's tough. Like we're all people, and like I don't fault her at all for still being affected by it. It makes her human to like be upset by it. Like it's a very human reaction. And I know it's also infinitely easier for guys versus girls to deal with this kind of stuff, and girls get way worse hate than guys do. And usually it's like dirtier and more personal, and I don't even mean dirty like sexual. I just mean like it's just more like dirty, like mean, and I don't know, it's just like different, right? Like for the amount of like negative things people have said about me, I don't think anyone's ever like said anything like, I can't remember any time anyone ever saying anything about like the way I look or like anything like that. Like I don't know, if they do, it's like about my mustache. I don't know, not that I would care if people do that, but like I think girls get it a lot more. Even if you're not making the type of content that Paige makes, girls get stuff that's just like kind of more below the belt. So I feel for her in that sense. But I also, on the flip side, I'm like, yeah, it is part of the job, and like it's kind of something I have to deal with. But another reason why I want to talk about this, all that, yes, but it's interesting because in my previous video earlier today, like 2 hours ago, I said that I thought this next big bit of drama, Paige was like one of my top contenders, that it could have been like about/involving. This to me maybe signals a little bit of like, I might have been right, because this almost feels like a preemptive, like knowing and all these people have signed NDAs, so like nobody can say, confirm, whatever. Paige cannot confirm or deny this right now. Like she can't. If Paige knew something was coming, and this is hypothetical, but if Paige knew something was coming, like the Luke situation, she can't get ahead of it by saying exactly what happened and whatever, but she could theoretically get ahead of it by like talking about how much hate she's been getting already and how it makes her sad and how it does all these things. I'm not trying to say that's what she was doing for sure, but like there's like a little bit of my brain that's like maybe it's like adding to it, and why it's maybe making this hate feel different. Because again, I'm sure she's being exposed to a new audience. I'm sure she's getting a lot more hate than she normally does, but I guarantee you her daily DMs aren't free of hate. So like it is interesting that like this would be something that would inspire this type of reaction from someone who's definitely not just getting hate for the first time. So it makes me think maybe there's something a little bit more to it. But that's just that's my job. I speculate, kind of guess on things and whatever. So that's kind of my thought there. I don't think it's the soul thing. Obviously, like I said, she's a human being. She's feeling a type of way. She's making a video about it. Like, fully support her to do that, no problem. But I'm just wondering if maybe there's like a little something more that she knows is coming, that like this is also kind of like a piling on thing to make it worse, or if this truly could just be about, obviously, this like her getting hate messages right now and she's not part of this drama at the end at all. But it's just ironic because, again, my last video I said that she was kind of one of my contenders that I think maybe be involved in this in some way. And yeah, so anyway, I don't know, it is what it is. Let me know any thoughts on it in the comments below. Wanted to share it with you guys. Thought it was an interesting topic of conversation. This internet invitational is just delivering and delivering and delivering and delivering. Like, I'm gonna get on my hands and knees and beg Dave Portnoy to do like one of these a quarter, because like, boy, this is just, I didn't make commentary videos for like 4 months. Like I said, we were traveling, we were pregnant, we were baby mooning, we were having the baby, we were doing all this stuff, and now I'm just back, and like anyway. All right, I'm gonna talk to you guys later. Bye bye.